Hello, teacher legends out there. Welcome to the Parent Information Night instructional video. Here I'm going to walk you through how you can run an effective parent information night with your school. What we know is for an effective social and emotional program, we need the whole school involved, starting with the teachers and looking after them and their well-being, second to the students and implementing the program, and then of course we need our parents, that final piece of the puzzle, and we need them on board to join in the common language and the messages they're learning at home and support them through that process. And that is where you're going to have the most effective wellbeing program. So let's have a little look today. You can see I'm in my school subscription. You can either have one of us at Grow Your Mind come out and present to your school and have an information night. We can do it on Zoom, or you can also do it yourself. And this is where the presentation I'm showing you today is. I'm walking you through that. I'm clicking on information for parents, and the first thing that comes up, slides for the information night. So I'm going to walk you through these now. And as you can see down the bottom in the little presenter notes, there are notes that go with every slide. So we've fully supported you there. The first slide is a direct link to our album, our Grow Your Mind album. And we highly recommend playing this while your parents are coming in. Set that scene of that playful nature of Grow Your Mind. And sets a tone about what it's all about. Great way to start. Begin with your parents with talking to them about what mental health is and the mental health continuum, and that we also teach this to our students. That, 7 out of 7 of us have mental health, therefore we can all learn ways and strategies to protect against it. Go into the leading cause of depression around the world, but the key factor, the positive light on it, is that preventative, that public health element, that if we can help protect our students against mental illness, it is the way to do that is building those skills, arming them with a toolbox of strategies to go forth and thrive in life. And life is going to be full of ups and downs, and we need that tool belt to be able to draw on during those times, and a range of strategies. Here to show the parents, the Human Rights Commission put out some information about mental health, particularly post-COVID. And 2 of the key findings for us at Grow Your Mind was, 1, it showed that children do not understand what mental health and well-being is and what it means. And 2, over here, that children they really want an integrated approach to support their mental health. And that's exactly like our 2 biggest aims at Grow Your Mind. So that's a fantastic part about our program. Explain the mental health continuum to the parents, and go on to some other external review that we have had on our program through the University of Wollongong. They reviewed our program externally, and it was done during lockdown, so we weren't quite sure how it would go, but the results were fantastic, and you can share those in the next few slides with your parents. A little bit about what you're sharing with your parents tonight, a bit of the research which we've just done. Introducing the animal characters is key. Exploring a range of the positive mental health strategies that we'll be teaching the kids, and of course some ways to support at home. What we know is that parents are crying out for any support, any strategies, any tools that they can use at home. And so what better way than tonight to give those. Next part of the presentation, it's very key right from the get-go to let parents know that Grow Your Mind is not a happiness program, and it is not a self-esteem program. Instead, we teach the students that we are going to learn a whole range, a smorgasbord, if you like, of positive mental health strategies. And again, to reiterate, we need that toolbox full of strategies to draw on at times of struggling or unwell. That Grow Your Mind is based on the 4 key pillars of research, and there's some information in the box down there you see about those. What parents can expect to see at school, and why. Why are we doing this as a school? Why have we chosen to focus on and promote positive mental health habits. And you might have a few examples of what you see in the classroom if you wish there. It's important to explain to parents that it's not a spectator sport, that we need them as part of the team. It's really, really important. If we can't expect our kids to be kind and resilient and show gratitude and be character strength spotters, if it's not getting modeled as well. So we need them along for the ride too. But the first thing that's important, like the same with our teachers, it's also with our parents, that we need to put our own oxygen mask on first. There, explaining that, just opening it up to them that, parenting's a tough gig and please look after themselves as well. And the playful reason for being from Grow Your Mind, this is a great opportunity to ask that question, hands up if you've brushed your teeth today, or hands up if you've eaten something healthy, and be a bit interactive with their parents. And now we go on to introducing the animals and explaining to the parents that this is where you have started with the children, and they may have heard them come home talking about their guard dog. Maybe they've even told mum or dad they need to calm their guard dog down. And here is when you're going to explain briefly what each animal is and their purpose. The guard dog, and the sifting sooty, our wise owl, our elephant, and our gorgeous insular cortex, our sensitive octopus. And it's important here to spotlight the guard dog because it has a terrible reputation. Its job is, our amygdala is to keep us safe, and it's always looking out for potential threats. But unfortunately, everyday, little stressors, the guard dog perceives as a big threat. So we need to really get in charge of our guard dog, and we learn lots of ways through Grow Your Mind to calm our guard dog down. And just putting into context that our animals, when they're all in unison, when our guard dog's calm and all animals have a voice, that's when we're able to thrive as a human. And the animals for Grow Your Mind, Grow Your Mind is different from other programs because we start with this story element, start with the animals, because it's going to provide purpose to all the other strategies we teach. You could give an example of doing a mindfulness activity with your class after lunch, and it might be saying, we need to calm our guard dog down so we can wake up our sifting sooty and focus on our spelling test. Okay, everyone, let's do this breathing exercise. And it puts into practice, or it could be it's a maths exercise. It could be a whole range of things. Using our animals provides purpose to all of our activities at school. So yes, it'll be in the wellbeing lesson, but also across the curriculum too. It provides a lot of purpose to everything we do. And that common language too, the common language at home. So here's a snapshot of the invitations that students will be learning at school, some of the strategies and what we're going to be going into tonight at the parent night, and hopefully give you a few strategies along with these invitations that you could try at home too. So I'm going to pause now and we're going to go into each of those invitations. Doing something that brings you joy. This is our first invitation, our first strategy to learn. And joy is one of many positive emotions that we teach through the Grow Your Mind program, and a great one to highlight to the parents. Discovering things that bring them joy and as a family at home. Go into a little bit of the science behind why positive emotions are vital for us flourishing. And there's the analogy description below. Music, a great one, an invitation for the parents to play more music at home. It is an immediate mood booster. Playing it maybe on the car ride to school, or there's that kitchen dance party when things are getting a bit tetchy at night. A great little invitation. Getting a broad range of positive emotions is a key learning through the Grow Your Mind program that the children will be learning about. And a few joy strategies for home and seeking out, what brings joy to your family and brings joy to your children, and embracing that. Music, dancing, just do it. Immediate joy busters. Joy finders rather than busters. The second invitation, move your body. And most of us realize the physical benefits from moving our body. At Grow Your Mind, a big part of learning is understanding that moving your body also helps your mood, helps your boost positive mental health, and that ability to focus as well, and also your mood. It's, it is very, as it says there, very hard to be angry when you're skipping. If any of your kids at home are angry or cross, throw them a skipping rope. Hopefully they won't take it to one of their siblings. As they get older with movement, we start to talk about the neurotransmitters in their brain and about how to get a daily dose of well-being. If you need more information, if you go to your poster lesson section, the daily dose has a whole explanation about that. Some movement strategies for at home. Just look for things that bring you joy and you love doing as a family. And that great mantra, I don't have time not to exercise. There's podcast episodes as well that go along with that. The third strategy tonight is showing kindness to someone and how we look at that through the Grow Your Mind program. And it starts with, in the younger years, being a bucket filler, and looking at that fantastic book, How to Fill a Bucket. And, how do we feel good about ourselves? When we're feeling good about ourselves, we're kind. And when we are feeling rubbish, we can often be unkind. As we get older, in the older years, we start looking at the BOB movement, be of benefit. And this may be a great terminology that the parents might like to use at home. How could we be of benefit at home tonight? And we look at different ways you can explore that at school. This is one example of how one class has done that. And some BOB strategies for at home. And asking a simple question, did you have a BOB moment today? How are you of benefit today? As we know that when we have benefit to other people, when we're kind to other people, it's fantastic for our own mental health. The, fourth strategy, what we are thankful for, all about gratitude here, and having a gratitude practice. Looking a little bit into the science about rewiring our brain. 21 days of practicing gratitude can rewire our brain. We're never too old to start a gratitude practice. At school, how we do it, naming 5 people or things or places that we're thankful for, and building that resilience in ourselves. Gratitude is a key factor in the building of resilience. So encouraging our parents to have a gratitude practice at home. We don't do that by denying uncomfortable emotions, not asking for help and being positive all the time. Instead, you could play this rap. It actually goes down really well. Play the rap to the resilience rap to the parents, and talking to them also about thoughts, and that thoughts are not facts. And sometimes it's quite tricky. We get stuck in those thoughts, don't we? And it's teaching our kids that we can challenge them. And we have a lovely analogy, a shark and dolphin analogy there, that we teach the children about. Shark thoughts, they bite you. Dolphin thoughts are those realistically optimistic thoughts that are really helpful. And we can flip our thought patterns. One easy way to do that is by adding yet to it, or changing our mindset of being I have to do something to I get to do this. And here are some gratitude strategies for home. The next strategy is character strength education. Knowing and growing our strengths is a really big part of the Grow Your Mind program. You can see here our character strength poster. It's a real superpower for our mental health, is recognizing character strengths in ourselves and also in others. In fact, it's often easier to spot in other people than ourselves, but we all have all of these inside us. We show them to grow them at different times to varying degrees. A great language, though, for parents to be focusing on at home. Some schools share as well if they're focusing on a certain character strength for the week. Maybe the whole school's focusing on the same word, or stage groups, and sharing that with home. So we could say respect is our word of the week. At home, maybe you put it in the newsletter. How are we growing this at home, and coming up with ideas? Books are a fantastic way. Be a character strength spotter. And another way is in our amazing Guess Who program. And you could play this video to the parents. They've got to guess who it is. And maybe they yell out some of the character strengths of RBG. Strategies for at home there again. Simply asking your students, not your students, your kids at home, did you use any character strengths today? Or what strength might we need to grow right now? We're all a bit, we need to rush, we need to get into the car. What might we all need to grow right now? And bringing that language into home. The next strategy, into the world of mindfulness, another key strategy in protecting and strengthening our mental health and well-being. And at Grow Your Mind, you could explain to the parents that we're going to teach their students a whole range of breathing styles. Again, what worked for one student may not work for another, so we need to build that toolbox. You could even demonstrate one of the breathing styles here and get the parents to do it. Just quickly reminding the parents, breathing may not be their thing, but just consciously making time to go slow. This is an amazing poster to talk to the parents about that difference between how we feel and how we react, and matching those reactions with actually, is it a teeny tiny problem or a huge problem? A lot of parents love this poster. The Daniel Segal, naming it to taming it. When we can name our emotions correctly, it's a key step in being resilient. And emotional literacy education is a big part of within the Grow Your Mind program. Feeling cards. We explicitly teach kids a range of emotional literacy words, and they extend as they get older in the older years. And we don't talk about the emotions in terms of good and bad. Instead, we like to say, is this a comfortable or an uncomfortable emotion? And then we move into the next part about thinking with the children, okay, would you like to stay in that emotion or feeling, or would you like to shift? Now, let's say, for example, angry here, and they've chosen to shift, hopefully. And then we help them with some strategies. Okay, you'd like to shift through that. It's really normal to feel angry. We all feel that sometimes, but let's not get stuck there for too long. What could we do? Okay. And the student might say, moving my body. Okay, yes, I know I need to move my body, and that might help me shift from this angry mood I'm in. Great question. You might say to the parents, put your hand up if you have an anxious child at home, or maybe you're a little bit anxious, and often a lot of people will put their hands up. Great question to ask. Is this a threat, a challenge, or an opportunity? And, often, as we said before, our guard dog, it finds it really hard, thinks that everything's a threat. But quite often, most of the times, it's a challenge or an opportunity. So when the kids come home from school, maybe there's a friendship dilemma or something going on at home they're anxious about. Great question to ask, and just to keep checking in with your guard dog then. Is it really a threat? And so a few more strategies there at home. Meditation apps you can recommend. Books always. Books are so good for a lot of mental health strategies. It forces you to go slow. It's that beautiful connection time. Be character strength spotters. Keep encouraging reading books, and they're never too old to be read to, even those gorgeous Year 6 students. The next invitation is learning something new and being curious, and to nurture those lifelong learners. What we know is when we're curious and we are learners, that it's really good for our mental health. On our social media platform, each Friday, we share a fun Friday fact. That could be something the parents like to check, and they could read that to their students. Not their students, their children. I'm in teacher mode. And they, keep having those conversations at home, sharing a fun fact, asking their kids to share something with you as the adult, to all be learners together. Growth mindset, boosting that love of learning. Again, a key poster with Grow Your Mind you can talk about. And growth mindset at home, praising the process, not the results. practice, the old school saying, practice makes perfect, we no longer talk about. It is practice makes progress. And it's that journey and the love of learning. And we're going to embrace failures and mistakes. Fantastic. You made a mistake on your spelling. Great. That's how your brain is stretching and growing. It's how you're going to remember it next time. Or maybe you'll have a few more mistakes before you remember it. And that's okay. That's how we learn. Connecting with people and healthy relationships and belonging and fitting in is so key to primary school, isn't it? And the science, you could talk about the science behind why connection is vital for our mental health, and you can see there in the notes that's written a summary of that study done by Holt Lundstein. Another key poster with Grow Your Mind, the perspective poster, talk about there, and some connection strategies for at home, maybe having a conversation starter jar, and noticing times when your family feels connected together. Be a little bit of a detective for a week or so, and just notice actually when are times where we are all really truly getting on, and just have an experiment and see. Laughter. This is, really simple and really obvious, but it is a key core value at Grow Your Mind. Playfulness and humor, and it has the ability to shift our mood immediately. And just an invitation to the parents to keep being really playful with their kids. And parenting has become really, can become quite serious, and just to remind ourselves, me included, to keep being playful. And a couple of great quotes there. It really shifts our interactions with our children. The final invitation is sleep, and how important it is, coming back to the science behind that, and to prioritize it, because there's nothing more detrimental to our brain health is lack of sleep. And parents will definitely attest to this because they've all had newborns, and how linking it also to our brain and our hippocampus, our ability to remember things. Because it's very hard to regulate our mood as adults and kids even more if we haven't had enough sleep. So just to keep prioritizing that and thinking about respecting sleep at home. And that leads into a big technology discussion too, but just to highlight that with parents, that it is a key factor in mental health. The last thing to share with parents, if you wish, is some resources for at home. Parents are crying out for things that they can do, and we have a lot of free offerings on our website. So you can encourage them to go there, print things out, have a look there. And of course, our really fantastic free offering is our podcast. We have at the moment of recording 3 seasons, and a great way for parents to be reiterating those same messages at school and at home. It definitely does not matter if they've already heard it. Get them in the car, that captive audience, and the whole family listening together. As a Grow Your Mind school, you are able to offer your parents a 20% discount off the Grow Your Mind for Families subscription as well, if that's something that they wish to be involved with. There's also physical resources at home too. They are all available on our website. And that comes to the end of the Parent Information Night slides. I hope that's been helpful for you to be able to go forth and run a spectacular night. You have got this. You know your parents best and your school community. Just jump in there and give it your best go. But of course, if you have questions, please reach out to us. My email is julia@growyourmind.life. Please email me or call us. We are here to support you always. Bye.